So hi, I'm Marylou. I'm from France, and I'm a sound artist, and I'm based in Eindhoven. And I also work a lot with electronics, and I build instruments for like live performance and sound and light installations. I started this project with the fact that I do a lot of field recordings, and I record especially birds. Like, I'm a huge fan of birds, and I record for 3 years the sounds, the nature sound of the Camargue, which is in the south of France, which is where I'm from, and this is where my heart belongs. And I've been recording diverse species of birds in the last 3 years, but because of pollution and use of pesticides in agriculture, there are a lot of declining in the bird community. So most of the birds I recorded 3 years ago were actually very rare species and tend to and just disappeared. Like, I'm not able to record them anymore today. So I decided to start this project for that, and for also another reason, that when I talked about this subject and the disappearance of biodiversity, it's not something like people can really notice in a sound, in the acoustic world, and when we talk about sounds, it's more like numbers. It's more like something you can read on the news, like, oh, we lost 30% of birds in the last 3 years, but it's not something you can really visually in an immediate way notice. But actually in a sound, we can talk about sound, that's something we can really notice, but when we pay attention to it. Yeah, I recreate an electronic garden with different bird box, and each bird box is a synthesizer by itself that people can play and can interact with, and it can each box is a bird, which has been disappearing in the last 3 years, like the Bayon's crake, the pendulin tit, or the European bee-eater. So that's the 3 birds I'm using for V2 residency. And yeah, each time you can activate different sound patterns of the library, of the library of these specific birds, but you can also modulate the light, the LED tree which is attached to it. The LED tree creates a light visualization of this sound, but also of some kind of rebirth through technology of this bird. And you can also modulate this evolution through the year. You have a date knob which goes from 90, 80 to 2020. And if you turn this knob, it will modulate the sound of and the light of the installation to represent the evolution and decay of this bird through the last years.